It feels pretty awesome to finally be a McLaren driver. The deal was done, I think, back in May last year, and can finally speak about it and speak to it with obviously a lot of optimism and happiness. With Lando, it's another new teammate for this year. So this is now into his third season with the team. But I think we're going to have obviously a really good relationship with, on and off the track. I think we both bring a bit of a kind of a similar dynamic, but from different generations. So I think that combination will be quite cool. What I expect out of myself in 2021 is to really, I think, hit the ground running. Naturally it does take some time to learn, a new team, a new car, but I don't want to be naive, but I also want to just make sure that I'm just leaving kind of no stone unturned and really make, by the end of the year, feel like I've had a big contribution to the team, moving forward and closing the gap.
Well, we had a great year last year. I think what would be a good year for us this year is closing the gap to whoever wins the championship. I have a sneaky suspicion that'll be Mercedes, but it was so close last year. We went into the last race. We could have finished third, we could have finished fourth, we could have finished fifth. And so I think the real gauge is our outright pace against the championship leaders. So that's going to be what we gauge ourselves off of, as opposed to an actual finishing position.
It's cool for me to learn from someone different, see how he interacts with the team, his feedback and everything. It's not just because he's a good driver, there's a lot of other things that he's good at too. So it's another opportunity for me to learn, extend my knowledge within Formula One. But it's going to be an exciting time. We're going to work together, hopefully, very well, like I have done in the past 2 seasons, and we can push the team to make that next step and continuously working hard to close the gap to the front runners. And hopefully that's the plan. I wouldn't say I've set too many expectations just yet. I think I take it one step at a time. So we wait and see the winter test and see how that goes. But there's a lot of things I've obviously worked on over the winter and we'll hopefully put into practice this year. And after the first few races, I think then I can set some more expectations and targets for myself. Of course, starting how I ended last year is the number one priority in a way. Not making sure I've slacked or done anything slightly worse. So starting off on the right foot and just continuously trying to improve in all these little areas that you can as a driver. And score some good results, maybe some podiums eventually, and just have a very good year.
The car design and build this year has been obviously quite a unique experience. We've had a lot of things going on last year which impacted COVID, of course, have had that impact, but we also had the sport being shut down for several months at the beginning of 2020, which put us behind the design cycle of installing a new engine, which was the big sort of headline thing that we needed to achieve on the technical side with this year's car. We had to do it all from home, of course, so we were designing over the phone and emails and video conferences, which is a very different situation to learn to be in. When you do that, you've got to make sure you've got the IT infrastructure to allow that to happen as well. So it's a huge challenge to get to that point. And you miss those impromptu personal kind of discussions that you can have with people when something springs to mind. So the mindset had to change too. So it was an enormous challenge to have to go through that design process remotely and still somehow get it right and make everything fit together.
With Lando going into his third year now, with getting Daniel on board as a proven race winner, with having the championship winning power unit at the back of our car, plus seeing the progress we could make again over winter as a team, with the car, but also in the way how we work together. I'm quite optimistic going into this season. At the same time, I think it's always important as well to stay realistic. But I feel there's a lot of energy in the team, a lot of commitment. So we will give it all again until the last lap of the last race, and then hopefully we can again fight as high up as possible.